Hey guys, welcome back to Tarot Talks. This is going to be the Sun 19. So, the Sun is basically the end of the human journey. It's the perfected Son of God. It's the sacred fire that lives in the solar plexus that has incarnated many, many of lifetimes. It is the soul, Soul, but it is also the soul, Sol, which is the sacred fire. Basically, your will, your battery power, the thing that makes you want, and that makes you actually go and go get the thing that makes the thing you want to happen. It's like the process, okay? Um this is the mastered someone who has mastered the entirety of the human experience. This isn't like someone, this is basically just a place in the journey. So you're at a place in the journey where you've mastered the human experience and you're ready to incarnate on a different level, okay? Into a different realm, different dimensions. So this is the esoteric. It's a very esoteric explanation of the meaning of the sun card. Um, so, what's really cool to think about is when you reincarnate out of the human experience, then we get into ETs and things like that. And what if the things that we call ETs are just us coming back to look at ourselves in a former incarnation, from our spiritual future? Some crazy shit. All right. So the sun is the ruler of the fifth house in astrology, and the fifth house, you're going to see the connection to babies and birth and newness, because the fifth house is the ruler of creation and creative abilities. It's also the ruler of children and the generative principle. It's connected to Leo. Okay. Let's see. So, all right. So the exoteric meaning is that you're going to read in books. Like the book meaning of this card is going to be success and like the culmination of a journey. So it's like the ending and the beginning all together. It's like a graduation. Basically, when your graduation is the ending of your experience in school, but it's the beginning of the adult experience of being a professional, being a new person, etc. So it's like that transition, that graduation, like, yes, we're here, we did it. So that's what the sun card is exoterically, and you're going to read both meanings in your readings, just depending on the question and how deep you're going. You can also read it both ways, the exo and the esoteric. That's how I like to do it, because I feel like you get so much more information and you get so many shots to hit points that are connecting with the querent and things that they're going through when you give them the most information. So don't just like look at one side, you want to look at everything. And that's going to be the basis of the next series I do. I'm going to show you guys how to read the different facets of these major arcana cards according to the cards that are around them, and we'll talk about reversals and all of that, and it'll be fun. um so success, basically a culmination, a period of like a graduation, the end of a journey. So the imagery, again, we're talking about babies, and anytime you see babies or young spirits in cards, like the pages or the fool, that's all going to denote like a young spirit, like a birth and a beginning and a newness. Okay. Let's see. So the 1 and the 0, that's what this number is going to equate to, because the 19, 1 plus 9 is 10, and then 10, 1, 0, 1 plus 0 is 1. Again, you have that beginning. So it's all that's how everything's connecting in this card. It's like that new beginning, but it's an educated beginning, because it's the 1 with the 0. Like I said, it's like a graduation. It's like when you're starting college, but you have all the knowledge of high school behind you. It's not like you're just running into college. Like you have all of this knowledge behind you and you're ready. Okay. And then the imagery of flowers, anytime you see that, It's the generative principle of creation, being able to affect change in the physical world. So we might in a reading have somebody who's just discovering that they have the power to take control of their own life, and they're starting to see um, physically the manifestations of that belief and that power that they have. Okay, like when you break through a fear and you start improving and progressing and you're starting to see how that's benefiting your life, that's what those flowers represent. It's like being able to affect change in the physical world. So it's not just like making something with your hands, being creative, it's actually making things happen. So even making a baby is making things happen in the physical world. You're putting something into the physical world that wasn't there before. Okay, so that's how you're going to think about it. I think like the tarot uses the two words balance and creation so much, but it's just like such a generic word. You really have to break all the meanings down so you can really understand what's going on here. So the ribbon or the flag kind of reminds me of riding in on the blood of the birth canal, basically. And if you look at him, he's like, ooh, sliding in your DMs. But anyway, he's kind of just like, yay, coming into the world. And the white horse for me always means it's the end of a hard time. It's the ushering in of a new exciting phase. Even the horse of death, he's white. So the death of something is the end of suffering. Good example of that is in Game of Thrones. Any of you guys that watch Game of Thrones, at the very end, Arya finds the white horse and she rides out on the white horse at the end of the story. And that's kind of, for me, always what the white horse kind of embodied. But that's just my interpretation. All right, let's see. All right, so numerology, the 1 plus the 9 and the 0, it is the, just to break that down a little bit more, it's the god and the goddess standing together. And when they stand together, they make creation, like the 1 and the 0, the 10. The 0 always represents the blackness, the black hole, the birth canal, the vagina. It is the thing where everything pops into this realm from. Okay, and then the I am, the 1, is the phallic spear, and when they're together, they create. So this is very much a creation card, very much a card that can be, if you see this card in a reading where people are trying to conceive a baby, definitely good vibes, definitely a good card to get when you're looking for answers with that type of thing. Let's see. And then we have alchemy. So what's kind of confusing about this card is the sun, even though the sun is the father, it pairs up with the moon, and then the child is traditionally the star. You're seeing the Trinity actually in the 17, 18, and 19 cards. So it's the star, the moon, and then the sun. So you're seeing the actual Trinity there. This is what we're learning in these higher realms. We're really trying to understand the that creation. It takes 3. 3 is the number of creation. That's basically what the Trinity is trying to tell you. So it's very much understanding the process of creation, and that's what alchemy is. When alchemists actually practice alchemy, like with the chemistry of it, and start trying to break down components and understand what they do together, ultimately, I truly believe, just from the books that I've read, I came to the conclusion that it makes a star, like a literal star. You can make a star in a jar, and there's rumors that famous alchemists have actually done that. And I feel like you're going to see that in the Hermit card, which the Hermit is the alchemist of the tarot. And he goes inside himself and he discovers the cosmos inside of himself. So he discovers his light, his soul, his SOL. And I feel like that's where the star child and this father baby figure kind of merge and get confused. The energy of the sun is always the energy of the father. But anyway, before I get sidetracked with that, I'll get back. With the Hermit, he discovers the cosmos inside himself, but it's alchemy is the breakdown of the process of how matter is created. So if it's interchangeable, like the macrocosm mirrors the microcosm, you're going to see a human creating a star, but also the human actually is the star child himself, and that's how he was created. So that's what alchemy is. It's showing the map of how nature is. And when you hear spiritual sayings and they say it's about understanding nature, it's not about understanding like the birds and the bees and the leaves and the trees outside. It's understanding the current underneath it and the things that make the energies that come together to make these things happen, to make that tree be able to make that leaf and drop an acorn and make another tree. It's understanding that whole process. That's what alchemy does. It actually breaks down all of the components of our world and our earth around us, and it's a microcosmic, macrocosmic kind of spectrum. So the father, if we're talking about mythology, is never present. Okay, we have the Horus mythology, the virgin birth that way, which it really wasn't a virgin birth because she kind of like cut Horus's father's penis off and then kind of had sex with herself, and then Isis we're talking about, and then made Horus. But then you also have the virgin birth of Jesus, and then in all of mythology, when we're looking at the demigods, like the children of the gods, their fathers are always absent. So it's because the magic and the power and the soul and the SOL, the SOUL, the soul, which is the same thing. It's the energy that lives in your solar plexus. It is recreated and lives on within the child. So that's the theme that we see. For some reason, the father dies for creation, okay? And we can also look into that video game / holographic theory where like there's a little bit of God's energy in every living thing on earth, which means God, if God is the holographic theory, like God is the ultimate light or the ultimate soul, the ultimate sun, fractured himself so he can be embed that light into matter, and that's what makes life, is light in matter. That's what the Ankh is. That's what the symbology of the Ankh, that's what it actually means. It means divinity in matter, like the light of divinity inside matter. And the Ankh is a key, and that's the key to life, dude. So that's why you're like graduating at this point, because we're going to the judgment card and then we're going to the world and then we're done here. And when I say like we're done here, it means we're done in this realm. Like the world to me doesn't just embody earth, it embodies the cosmos and everything that's in this galaxy. I feel like you get to transcend out of this galaxy. You have all of the knowledge of the cosmos within this galaxy, and then you get to transcend and go forward. But another cool thing, like on a macrocosmic level, is like, what about us as people? Like we are here with our mother, with our goddess. It's our earth. Like she raises us, she nurtures us, she feeds us, she teaches us. But where is our God? Our God is always missing. Our God is always an essence that is unknowable and unattainable. It's because it's within us and it's for us to discover it. It's a great mystery. That's why our God is always absent. But I think this card is just really cool and you can go so deep with it. So yeah, we have 2 cards left after this. I think I covered everything, and I'm really excited to get into show you guys how to read these cards and how to deal with reversals and things like that. Again, I hope you're enjoying everything. The thing that actually made me make this video so quick after the other one is that I had a couple of responses. So knowing that I have, even if it's just a few people, a little bit of a community to serve, your interactions with me really inspire me and help me to keep going and to keep putting out this content, because it's a lot of knowledge that I have to get into place and like make notes, and sometimes it takes a couple days, but it also takes a certain mindset. So the more that you guys inspire me and kind of reach out and say, hey, like, yeah, I'm just here, I'm watching, I'm enjoying it, that really helps me continue to do this for you. Again, I thank all the new subscribers. I'm going to come out with another video as soon as possible, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.